Hey, how's it going, YouTube? Welcome to tonight's episode of Movie Files. Tonight, Morgan and I will be reviewing tonight's episode of American Horror Story Season 7, subtitled Cult. Before we get into the review, kind of our breakdown is going to be the basics of tonight's episode, who was in it, what it was about. Then we're going to jump into what we liked about the episode, as well as what we didn't like, and then predictions for the rest of the season. So with that being said, Morgan's going to go over tonight's basics of the episode.
Tonight's episode was titled Election Night. It was directed by Bradley Bucher, who is no stranger to the American Horror Story series. This episode highlights the overwhelming emotions after the 2016 election with Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. It shows both opposing sides and how they react after they find out that Donald Trump has become president. We're introduced to a few main characters, first of which being Sarah Paulson. She plays Allie Mayfair Richards. We discover that Allie's character suffers from a lot of anxiety as well as an array of different phobias. Allie is married to Ivy Mayfair Richards, who is played by Allison Pill. We see how their reaction is after Donald Trump is elected president and their life as a gay couple in America. We're later introduced to Evan Peters. He plays Kai Anderson, and he is rather enthusiastic that Donald Trump is now president. Soon after we meet Kai Anderson, we're introduced to his sister, who is played by Billie Lourd, Winter Anderson. She seems to also be against Donald Trump winning, but rallies alongside Kai Anderson. We have a great cast, and it truly makes for a very interesting episode.
All right, so now that we got the basics out of the way, Morgan, you want to tell us what you liked about tonight's episode?
Yeah, sure. So I thought it was a really, really good episode. I really enjoyed it a lot. I think it was shot well. Everything looked really good. The realtor in me was in love with the house that Allie and her wife lived in. So yeah, I really like that. The restaurant was super cute. So yeah, that was like, I don't know.
So she liked the aesthetics. She liked
the aesthetics, yes. The
scenery,
interior design of the home.
I
mean, it was on point. That bathroom at the end was bathroom goals. I mean, yes, I love that. But getting on to the actual episode itself, I'm really excited for the theme of the season this year. I think that it's very interesting that they're doing something in real time, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So we've been fans of American Horror Story since season 1. We really were into season 1 and 2 and really, really loved those. Those were our favorite seasons.
Yeah, by far.
Season 3, 4, and 5, I kind of fell off the bandwagon, wasn't really feeling them. I watched a few episodes, but I honestly did not make it through those. That just kind of left me like thinking like, oh my God, maybe they need to stop making this show. Maybe they've gone too far. Season 6, Roanoke came out, which really interests me. It was about a haunting, and that's just something like I'm
really
interested
kind of
in.
Brought the themes back from like season 1.
Season
which
1,
is,
very reminiscent
house.
of
Yeah.
season 1, just with the haunting and things.
Right.
So we watched that, and I really liked it. Of course, I think it wasn't like a perfect season, but I really did enjoy that season. Elliot didn't enjoy it as much as I did.
The back half of the season was kind of
some stuff was
weaker.
a little corny and not as strong, but overall I liked the season. So that made me think like, oh, okay, maybe they're onto something. Maybe they can continue this show. So I was excited for this season. And then again, just the overall theme, I was really excited about that. Characters, I think everyone played their role and did a good job at what they were doing. I was excited to see Billie Lourd in this season. So I know she was in Scream Queens, and we liked the first season of that. We didn't watch the second season, kind of got a little cheesy. But I was really excited to see her because I did like the character she played in Scream Queens. So I was excited for that. Evan Peters, I love him. I have a feeling that I'm going to hate his character. But, he's definitely a good actor, I think. And then Sarah Paulson, she's great. Elliot has a little tiny crush on her a little bit. But she's a great actor as well. Some of you like Teen Wolf fans and Arrow fans, it was really cool to see Colton Haynes in there. So I'm excited to see his part. I think he's gonna probably have a big part in the show. So yeah, I thought it was a really great episode, well written. Yeah, I enjoyed it. So what about you?
Well, yeah, I would definitely agree with most of your statements. Season 1 and 2 for me were by far the best seasons of American Horror Story. And then 3 through 6 had its good moments, bad moments, but, it didn't meet the same level of intensity and great characters and dialogue as season 1 and 2 did, for me at least. I know some people have Covenant on top of their list, or Roanoke, or Hotel, but for me, season 1 and 2 were like the best. But for tonight's episode, what I really liked was, just like Morgan was saying at the beginning, was the undertone of fear was something they really touched on a lot, and being based in real time is great because you can relate to it, because it's not, it's a TV show. We fall in love with our favorite characters and storylines, and sometimes we wish to be in certain positions for people on TV, but it's really cool to watch a TV show about something that is going on in real life, which is, politics and, fear and people being afraid of different things going on, and, not having control of certain outcomes. But nevertheless, tonight's episode, and undertone of fear, was really the biggest thing I enjoyed. And like Morgan was saying, all the characters seem exciting. All the things to come seems pretty cool, with Peter Evans' character, Kai, I believe was his name. He seems like he's going to be our antagonist for the season, our villain, as you can say in traditional terms. And Sarah, she's a great actress. I love that they continue to bring her each and every season. She's always a highlight for me in most of all the seasons so far. But I'm excited. We're in a time of fear, going on fear. Clowns are making a big comeback. You got It coming out this Friday, and then obviously the clown from season Freak Show was one of the best parts of Freak Show to me, was the clown. So there's a lot of cool things that they're bringing back that I like from previous seasons. And I'm just excited about, the realism of the episode. Hopefully it carries throughout the season. But I thought it was a pretty strong episode, which American Horror Story is always known for great, strong episodes, because obviously episode 1 sets the tone for the rest of the season. So hopefully they continue that momentum through the next, I believe it's 11 episodes a season. So for the next 10 episodes, I hope they can continue that momentum. So great episode, but not every episode and not everything on TV is perfect. So, what were some things that you can think of that you didn't really enjoy?
I mean, honestly, I really enjoyed the episode. Something else I wanted to kind of hit on the head as well. I know it's a little harder for you to get scared while watching a scary movie. But like, we had our lights on while watching it. But if I would have had my lights off, I would have been like looking over my shoulder. Like, it was a little creepy to me. And then when they had the like what's to come in the rest of the season, like, I can just tell there's going to be some really good like jump scares, and I think I'm going to be a little freaked out. Might be having nightmares. I've never been afraid of clowns, but I might be after this.
They're making a comeback. I'm telling you, clowns are the scary
and
clowns.
And they're scary. They're creepy looking. But overall, I mean, I like the show a lot. In the beginning, Sarah Paulson, her character was a little like too emotional for me. Like, it was almost a little annoying. I was a little annoyed with her because she's like seeing clowns, but then nobody else is seeing clowns, and it's just like whatever. But then when the kids saw them, I'm like, okay, she had that validation for me where I'm like, I'm a little more empathetic. I like her character more, and now I think I'm going to be irritated with her wife, because it's like, you just watch something scary, and it's like, as the viewer, you know what's going on, but then the character doesn't, and you're just like frustrated. So yeah. And then Evan Peters, I thought he did a good job, but he's definitely going to kind of rock the boat this season. It's going to be interesting. One thing that I didn't like is that their friend died. I mean, I think we all saw it coming. Spoiler alert. Sorry.
Comment but yeah.
But yeah, Kai, I mean, when he was in that room and he said a humiliated man is
so you do think,
the most
like,
dangerous.
So this is we'll put a little spoiler there on the screen there, but you do think that Kai has to do with the murders?
Yeah,
Okay.
he did. I mean, I think that even with like the two women, Allie and gosh, I can't think of what her wife's name was, but when they were Allie and Ivy, that's her name. So when they were standing outside, like I just feel like it was all like set up when him and Billy were in that room and they're kind of talking. I'm really interested to see what their connection is. I guess we can kind of go into predictions. Maybe you have a prediction, but like I want to know, like, how are they connected? But yeah, I mean, I definitely think that Kai had something to do with it, and I almost feel like he's targeting them for whatever reason. I'm sure it'll kind of unfold more, but those are my thoughts. But I hated that he died. I mean, we all saw it coming, but I was just like, yeah, go you, when he kind of gave him the business about, you're the one who's scared. It's not us. And,
chaos
just because Donald Trump is making you feel validated, like I was just like, yes, that was awesome. I love that. And then when he walked around, mumbled that under his breath, I just was like, oh God, we got a killer on our hands.
So I mean, overall, you enjoyed the episode a lot, though.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with with Morgan. There's really nothing I could think out that stood out that was, left the episode on a bad note. I'm trying to think. While Morgan was talking, I really couldn't think of anything that really, if we were rating it from 1 to 10, I thought it was a pretty solid 8.5 as far as tonight's episode. Just little things. I mean, like Morgan said, a couple at the beginning with Sarah's character.
I just hope they execute it well
That's
throughout.
that's my biggest fear.
Thing.
I always, like I said, season 1 or episode 1 of American Horror Story for the last 7 years now have been always pretty solid episodes. In episode 2, but then the more and more the story unfolds, you want one thing, but they end up getting you something else, or it doesn't turn out as well as you thought it is. So we have high hopes for this season because, like Morgan said at the beginning, we've always been fans since season 1, and we kind of cut in and out from 3 to 6, but we're really excited about tonight. Yeah. So I really don't have any. I
think it's a story that needs to be told too. So.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when you have a show that's based off of current events, you can always obviously connect, and you don't always have to put your beliefs on hold because it's such a like Hotel season was really an isolated incident. Covenant was an isolated incident, but now that season 7 is kind of touching on real life and current times, it's obviously a more that you can believe in as far as how people react to things and kind of that real world sense. So I think this is going to be a good season. Again, I just hope that they continue that momentum from tonight's episode on to the next 11. So with that kind of being said, predictions. I don't believe Kai. I don't know what it is. I don't think he.
What?
I mean, obviously, all the signs are pointing towards that. But I mean, one thing that American Horror does pretty well, the writer is Ryan Murphy, does really good, is they'll give you the bait and switch. They'll make it seem like it's that character that's involved, but it's really not. But obviously, all signs are pointing towards Kai and his crew. We'll find out the rest of his friends are to see what they had to do for the rest of the season. But I'm excited to see how Sarah's character and her wife, see how their relationship kind of evolves or kind of goes down for the rest of the season as far as their relationship and their son. And I'm really excited about it. I think we're in for a great 10, 11 episode season, and hopefully we can get back to the season 1 and 2 highlights for season 7. So
yeah, well, and you just kind of made me think too. Because in the beginning of the episode, that couple, the husband was upset with the wife because she didn't vote. And then at the end of the episode, Colton Haynes, his character, the detective, says that it was a murder-suicide. So even though as the viewer we were seeing what Ozzy was seeing, maybe they are just trying to throw us off track, and maybe they got into this big fight because of her not voting, and it's just kind of setting things up. So it's interesting because you are totally right. They do kind of like lay out all the stepping stones for you, and you're like, oh, I've got this, and then you're like, God, that was didn't see that coming. So maybe you are right. Right now I still think it's Kai, but you did make me think maybe it won't be. But I guess for predictions, definitely I think Billy Lord, her character, and Evan Peters, something is up with them. I do feel like they are targeting this particular family. So I guess that would be my prediction. And then I do think that Allie's wife, Ivy, is going to turn on her. And I think there's going to be a lot of tension with their marriage, maybe them breaking up. I don't know. And then I guess now, kind of more that I think about it, because at the end of the episode, I was like, okay, the clowns are real. They were the same clowns that she saw in the grocery store. But now I'm thinking maybe they're not, and maybe this is just something that Ozzy picked up from Allie. In the episode, Billy Lord asked him, who is the mother that gave birth to you? And he said he forgot. So I'm just thinking maybe it's Allie's character, and that's just something he's picked up from her. So yeah, I guess I'm kind of changing my thoughts up a little bit. But yeah, those are my predictions for now.
Cool. So, thanks for listening to us, guys. But we would love to know what you guys think of tonight's episode, as well as the many more to come as far as season 7 Cult. Again, thanks for watching, guys. We'll be back doing our reviews for the rest of the season, as well as some movies that are coming out pretty soon. In particular, a pretty famous clown, Pennywise. So we'll be doing that review here soon for you guys. So again, thanks for watching. This has been episode 1 of Movie Files, and we have much more to come. So thanks, guys. Take care.